So I should be further along than I am. This is a very paralyzing statement. It can all at once overwhelm you and make you think that there's no, comparing yourself. There's just absolutely no win in comparison. That's said by Andy Stanley, a pastor from Atlanta, Georgia. And I believe that. If I went back to look at 15-year-old Taylor, looking at 32-year-old me now, it's easy. He would say that his band is a household name. He has headlined Coachella, and he has a BMW in every single color. Well, I'm happy to tell you tonight that I haven't achieved any of those goals yet. I showed up at the gorgeous music hall tonight in this 1996 Nissan Maxima that may or may not get me home tonight, and the closest I've come to Coachella is watching the live stream on YouTube. But here I am, 17 years later, and I'm still creating. To me, that is the victory. Songs that I've written in my bedroom studio, and mainly the shower, have garnered over 4 million streams worldwide, and I've found myself on some of Spotify's most sought-after playlists. Now, to the outsider, they would say that I have made it. I've achieved what most musicians never will, and yet why am I still plagued by the question, I should be further along than I am, and why am I not? Not to mention the green monster of jealousy, of envy, as I look at my friends, the artisanals on Rolling Stone, crushing it on social media. Now, to me, a calling is something you continue to do even after countless failures. My analogy for this is a black hole, but it's a good black hole. Something that draws you in. You cannot escape it, and there is no concept of time once you've been trapped inside of this. Now, I think that as creators that we need to focus on this black hole in our lives. What is it that takes you away from your day job, takes you away from relationship issues, the minutia of life, where you lose all concept of time? I think this is what we need to be focusing on, and I think everybody has this in their life. Now, this is the essence of my presentation tonight. Not how to be a successful creator, monetarily speaking. I haven't quite done that yet. Maybe once I headline Coachella, I'll come back. I'm going to give everybody the keys to the kingdom. But tonight, how could you be a cheerful creator even if it never extends beyond your family and friends, even if you never received recognition for that? Well, let's take a step back. In early 2018, I got my first record deal. My producer and I were so excited. It was the dream realized. We couldn't believe it. And for me, it had validated myself as a musician. It had finally happened. Now, that record deal, it tripled. Started out as a single. Now they wanted multiple releases. There was talks of a music video, publishing deal. We were holding meetings with entertainment lawyers. So I went home, popped a bottle of champagne, celebrated with my wife right here, sombrero and all. And then, well, it vanished. They said they were going to send the deal points over. Email never came. We were devastated. I went home that night. I threw away that bottle of champagne, and with it, my dreams of being a musician. So I did what any normal person's going to do. I wanted to drown out my sorrow. I wanted to numb the pain, and I found Netflix. Now, it's not all bad. I was able to quote every single line from the great sitcoms of the 90s, but one night it flashed 4 magical words that said, "Are you still watching?" Now, the significance of that really didn't hit me until I started preparing for this presentation tonight. But once it did, I realized that I did not want to sit back and just watch others squeeze joy out of their pursuits while I sat there with cynical comments about how it should have been me. I've missed these opportunities. I don't want to spend my life watching. Now, it's hard, though. You do have to shape your attitude daily. It's very difficult, but if you are a creator, please do not deprive our society of the enjoyment and the experiences that can be found in what you are creating, even if it doesn't extend beyond your close friends and your family. When I thought about this, I reflected on my own musical career. And I did not think about the money that's hit my bank account, not to say there's been a lot of that, But I thought about the memories I've made with lifelong friends coming to their town just because I'm playing a show. I thought about the fact that I have forced myself into a very interesting life. And it made me think that everybody wants to be somebody. If you don't believe that, just look through your Instagram feed tonight. This is universal, and it's not inherently bad, but I do think that if we just focus on that, we're setting a bar that is so hard to measure ourselves by. I found that for myself, I became envious of young gun bands making waves in the industry. This made me feel like I was falling behind, that I was failing at my dream. When in reality, I really truly think that you only fail at your dream if you stop chasing it. So give yourself permission to be proud of yourself. That if you made an app, just because it doesn't make it on the featured app store, that's okay. Give yourself permission that you spent 3 years of your life creating a board game from the ground up, even if it only receives 12% of its funding goal on Kickstarter, which actually happened to me. Give yourself permission to be a cup that is filled to the brim with creative juices and a stubborn drive that you're not going to be fulfilled until you've poured all of that out. Excited by the fact that you did it. Excited by the fact that you're doing it. The words of the icon Bob Dylan has said this best in my life. He says, "What is money? A person is successful if they wake up each day, go to bed at night, and in between, they did what they wanted to do." Thank you so much for listening. Hope it's been inspiring to you.